not disputing what we said, is going along with it. And that's why she's digging a hole deeper for herself. She should have never came on this live. If it's an ongoing case, I would never tell somebody to go on an interview. That's messing up the other people that we would try to protect. But why would they let her go on there? Because they know that they need her to get on that platform to find that narrative. Because now everybody's going to be talking about their interview. So why do you have to believe everything that she says? There's no reason for you to believe everything she says is to be true. She was never even there. That's why all these confusion coming in.
But if she wasn't there, how can you tell anything about any descriptions or details on what went on
an ongoing case?
On an ongoing case, if you wasn't there.
Exactly. So it would ruin whatever their team has going for their case, for her to come on some random live on a dude who gets, minimum amount of views. If they really needed this news to get out and clear their name, they would have went on something a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying? So there's other platforms, there's other people that will actually get the message out for you. But now let's get into the store. Who came in? They're trying to say there's two workers in there. One said the guy with the dreads was outside in the car. Another person is saying that he was in the store. So which one of the workers was in the front that's actually saying that? Because that's the one we actually could believe. Okay, Raven said it's two ways that they could call the boys to come to that store. It's a button for emergencies, or they have to call themselves. Why didn't they hit the button for emergencies? It's an emergency, ain't it? Another thing, if they got cameras everywhere, why is it a confusion on who came in the store with the man? If it's cameras everywhere, that you should have it on the door. You should have it, people coming in the store, you should see people going in from outside. So if they handed the clips to the boys, these clips didn't have the door on footage. That's why there's confusion, and that's why they're trying to paint the narrative. Raven slipped up. She said that's where the confusion comes in. Why is it confusing? And why did they say that Mr. Hill was watching the video over and over again with MPD? It's because they was trying to figure out if the guy that ran out to bust at the white Benz actually came in the store, or was he there the whole time? If the young lady was at the register and she didn't even want to press the emergency button because she was too afraid and running, Raven said herself she saw the men coming to the store with what they had in their hands. But she did not hear the Drake. She didn't hear the Drake. Raven said herself she didn't hear the Drake. And we were already telling you those Drakes, they were just shaking it in their hand. And she just confirmed that she didn't hear the Drake. It does not go against what we said. It goes with what we said. She's exposing herself. We told you she's digging a deeper hole. She shouldn't. Everything she says never disputed what we was talking about. Okay? And if she ran to the back and she said that the dude in the dreads was ducking, why would he be ducking? That's a terrible, terrible job for a security guard to do. You got one job. He didn't even have a vest. But he picked him up after he left the gas station. But then some people say that he already was with him. So which one is it? Which one is it? Well, the side of the store is saying he was already in the store. Apparently, that's what the cashier said. So, if he was not in Dolph's car at the gas station at Marathon, then he must have been already, cause how would he end up there at the time if he wasn't already in there? Yeah. And nobody walked through the front door after Dolph came in. So, what about the back? What about the door that Raven said leads to the hallway that eventually in the back of the kitchen that you can exit out of? Where the video shows the young gentlemen making their way in at the middle of the night from that same door. So that's interesting. If he was in Dolph's car, then he had to be in that store way, way, way before. Already there, because why? He knew what was going on.
When he slammed that door.
When he slammed that door shut, that's when everything took off. And there's a reason why.
You gotta understand, dude was ducked down, dude, the dreads. He came from behind the counter with the Drake. He wasn't standing with Dolph. What is he standing with Dolph for? And he's supposed to be working.
Exactly. If he wasn't,
so he's standing with Dolph with a Drake
for no reason, and he didn't pull up with him. Why would Dolph let somebody stand next to him with a Drake and he didn't even know the guy and he didn't pull up with him? So that means he was behind somewhere, ducked down.
Who you think Dolph gonna be scared of, exactly, or make a move on? The person who inside the store with him with the Drake, who's standing right there with him, while the other two dudes coming up with the Drake. Or which one is it? The two dudes coming up or the dude standing with you?
Right. And listen, he wasn't standing with him. He was ducked down behind the counter. That's why the young lady didn't hit the emergency button. He told her, you just need to run, and he pushed her. That's why she didn't hit the emergency button. First of all, why does a cookie shop have an emergency button? The only place with an emergency button is where you go pick up the money at.
Exactly.
There ain't no emergency button at the pizza shop. There ain't no emergency button nowhere else. Ain't no emergency thing at the laundromat, is there? So why do they need a button for that? And they didn't even use the button. So that's negligence. When something went down, they didn't use the emergency button. That's like a fire happening and you not using the fire extinguisher.
1 month ago in early November, YoungDolph was spotted at the cookie shop in a white truck, and he was outside, and a person behind the camera was very, very pushy into getting him to do some sort of shout out promo for Makeda cookies. That is the video that comes around where Dolph has 2 cookies in his hands and looks like he's getting ready to leave, and somebody keeps bugging him with the camera in his face to promote these cookies, and then they get the sign, and the person behind it sounded like it was the daughter. Okay. Then we have in early to mid-November, there was somebody who had ran through the cookie store. It was 3 people, all masked up, hoodies, gloves, everything like that. And they came through the side door. So we got that dated as a early November when they got ran through. Okay. So now we have the day of, approximately 12:58 p.m. an individual had pulled up to the Shell gas station on Airways. The individual had been attempting to park their vehicle when they noticed a black car, a Lincoln, pulling up across the street to Makeda Cookies on Airway. That black Lincoln vehicle was filled with people inside the car, all masked up, looking very, very shady. At approximately 12:01 p.m., the individual at the gas station had observed YoungDolph in a camouflage Chevy Corvette C8 2022 had pulled up into the Makeda Cookie parking lot. This individual had then exited their vehicle to get a closer look at when the Chevy Corvette had pulled up. there was an individual who stepped out of the Chevy Corvette. This individual has been identified as Adolph Robert Thornton, Jr. This individual was witnessed entering into Makedas Cookies around 1:02 p.m. At that exact moment, the witness from the gas station had seen an altercation arise inside of the Makedas Cookies across the street on Airways. The individual from the gas station decided to go over to the Makedas Cookies with their vehicle to either assist, give a helping hand, or further document the situation that had arose. It was at that moment, while the witness was making their way into the Makedas Cookies parking area, while they were about to enter the parking lot, there were sounds, loud noises coming out of the Makedas Cookies, and what it sounded like people using, straps. So, at that moment, the witness saw two men in a white car, two-door. She had already seen a black Lincoln full of people that had went into the store. She saw the two men run up and do the things that they did in the pictures we've seen. At that moment, shortly after, the witness pulls out their phone to document what they had just seen. It was also at that moment other bystanders had came outside to also see what was going on. At approximately 1:05 p.m., calls had started coming in for a possible incident at Makedas Cookie. The calls came from a laundromat that was connected to the same building as Makedas Cookies. Once the laundromat put the call in, there was a call made to Makedas Cookies to check on them. And when the call was made, the phone was answered by Maurice Hill. Maurice Hill was already inside the store. Following the call, moments later, authorities pull up to scope out the scene. When these authorities pulled up, they were not very much worried about the situation. They were just there, standing and doing things as if they already had known.
Anyone you see on social media talking about how easy it is for you to make $1 million trading, well, just unfollow them. Do it right now. I'm telling you, there are a lot of people out there who make money by luring you to buy their stocks. I do not believe that there's such a thing as a secret sauce when it
about this situation. Now, at this point, the witness is told that her vehicle would be blocked in if she does not leave. The witness then leaves. Once the witness leaves, they continue live, online, and chatting. While they are chatting, they are telling the things that they had seen and letting the people know to be aware that there was a white two-door car that had left the scene and is a suspect at that point. This individual eventually returns home where they continue to write about the things that they had seen on that day. A few days later, the boyfriend of the witness wants to end the relationship for unknown reasons. The next day, the witness is gone. The boyfriend is nowhere to be found. He is the only person that knows to the best where she goes, who she hangs out with, where she works, her favorite places, her entire schedule. To this point, there has been 0 people that have came out that were inside the cookie store to speak on what had happened. There is no more information coming from the people who are working on this case. It seems that this is a lot deeper than what most people think. As new details come out, you will be notified immediately.
Now he requesting again.